is not thwarted at all, and she's having to attack and defend as they... Oh, and that's she receives contact from Kim Eriksson, and all heck breaks loose as we have... Let's see it from a different angle here. Well, I can see from there, and...
There was actually two crashes there, because the 71 and the 7 in the background.
Off the road is Valentino Rossi's car, is it not? And it is Valentino behind the wheel.
Have a look and see. So he got the wheel off, and that is coming out of the screen. And how he got to that part of the side of this, I mean, it shouldn't have been there.
Run wide onto the grass, coming out of Sheen curve, lose it, slide across.
And that again, the grass is still wet.
Yeah.
So there's no traction there whatsoever. And of course, once the car broke away, the Sheen curve or Westfield, he's coming out of Westfield. Look at the amount of water. That's what you're saying is the spray coming off the car. That has gone a long way. I mean, that's like, and the tyre bales have been dislodged, so they'll have to be replaced.
Roughed up, runs out wide, drops back in the pack. Tom Gamble is under attack. There, look, is Giacomo Altway right into the back of him, and out wide goes Gamble. He's off the racetrack. He's back on again.
The way that the Audi right now, Enschler number 6 of that team has done.
Fella to the inside of his teammate, contact, and that's Lorenzo Ferrari being tagged off the racetrack into the gravel.
Not able to do very much, but just the Audi up the inside, contact between the two. Oh well, I mean that's certainly going to get the attention of the stewards, and that was fundamentally...
Ja, Bergström hänger med bra i det här tempot. Han var inte riktigt...
Där har vi Kotorinski.
Ja, och det tar i räcket där också, lite grann.
Gros blocage. Louis Perrault. Ouais, et c'est Benjamin Pack qui a touché Louis Perrault là.
Inside line into Camp Corner, including the Philippe Hugran-driven United Autosports number 22, and there's a spinner in the mid-pack.
The Virage car.
Now that's the 85 car, isn't it?
Oh dear.
The 85 car's race is going from bad to worse, and was that involved in some contact as Fabian Michel desperately tries to spin it.
Over the curb, spat it towards the inside, was very lucky that wasn't a much bigger hit.
Yeah, it was fairly substantial. There's tyres behind that, thankfully.
Oh, and there's another hit.
And that's the 6 A&S car, isn't it?
Again,
yeah.
that was the 87 car. That was a clash with the car that has to complete laps. Oof.
There we go then, just too hot into the corner. Couldn't get the car slowed down in time. So here we go, then the car just over-rotated. I don't think he was expecting the turning to be quite so strong in the second part.
Athcona and John Philippi as well, then secondary contact with Piquet, then that's Mikkelis. Look at Norbert Mikkelis, sideways, extra contact from Jan Elishay. I missed that on the live, but Elishay.
Multiple Spanish and Canaries champion Luis Monzon having an early disaster. The Skoda driver was third after stage 2, but in the day's second test, once again, Chomosh was caught out. It was another frightening one to watch, but testament to the strength of these Rally 2 machines.
Fantastic job to get her way up through. Here's Tyler Wetengel, the number 80, contact with the 50 machine there of Casey Mashore.
And Wetengel goes around right on the apex. Here's a look at the replay for Bennett Muldoon, and was there some assistance? Yep, and bam! Oh, into the Armco. Just missed the tire bundles there, DJ, and it looked like, was that into 5 potentially?
GR86 Cup cars, as there goes the green wire. Back racing again, contact in the back.
That's the 31, he's gonna hit the right side way hard. That's a huge impact for, I believe that's the 31 car. Here's a look, whoops.
Not sure if there was contact there or if the car just broke away on her. Let's take a look at the replay of what happened. Kyle, that's almost a carbon copy of what we saw yesterday.
Yeah, so they were side by side there.
Bellissima corsa, guardiamo che cosa è successo. Bene, problemi in frenata per Berto, non era Felice Ielmini. L'ultimo giro, il pilota della BMW, Max S, che anche lui è finito violentemente contro le barriere, scusate, con gomme già usurate. Vedete che là è stato il protagonista di questo incidente. Zendelli e Klein, questo gruppone, ma c'è adesso una toccata nelle retrovie, mi sembra che ci sia anche coinvolto. Guardiamo che cosa è successo, dovrebbe avere fatto tutto da solo. Qui c'è stata una toccata con Oria Cirigut. Guardiamo che cosa è successo a Covini, che è stato toccato alla staccata del carro, è stato toccato dalla vettura di Fossati contro il guardrail. Vediamo qui invece che cosa è successo, proprio l'incidente che ha coinvolto Fazioli, rottura.
And this is the reason why into turn 2 it was Nathaniel Betterby. Right rear has come off here. And that has brought out the safety car after going around. Oh, that's the reason why. There's Larini on the inside. Nakamura Berta, they go wheel to wheel down into the Rio curves. The slightest contact. Larini tries to avoid. There's Beaton around the outside. We'll take a look at the replay of what happened to Kamal Murad. Oh, makes contact just ahead with the Jensen Motorsport driver. It looked to be Shimo Zhang. And this is the reason why we have the safety car. Kai Dadianani, Kamal Murad.
About it as well. I know it's the first corner. Lando Norris minding his own business. And then that happened. Yeah, that's
then pushed Lance out into the McLaren. Someone comes up the inside. Oh, it's the Mercedes. It's Hamilton.
Now Magnussen holds it round the outside, and was he?
Yeah, his front axle wasn't alongside.
They both leave good space, potentially a little bit. It was contact.
So big crash there from Tina Houseman into the wall.
Which is exactly how it should be. Well, let's see, another incident going into that, the turn at the end of the back straight. That was Mark Kwame who was spun around. So that will give some breathing room to Chris Belomo. And at this point in the season, nobody cares about championship points. They just want to win in front of the 41,000 Rangos to Libra.
I think he was just too hard on the... no, there was a touch. There was a touch with Gus Burt.
And that's the second time for Gus Burt.
And we are counting down at Miami for round 4 of the IMSA Porsche Carrera Cup North America, presented by Yokohama. 1, 2, 3 wide, and the Paul Sitter gets swamped going through into turn 1. Zach Vanier comes through, and there's the almost inevitable number 20 of Gus Burton is the yellow car, and once again in the Hard Rock Hook there's all kinds of lines and into the wall. Oh, disaster for the number 64 of Dan Clark, and 8th, and he got a little hip check on the inside, and broke a steering from the catch fencing, and the bass speaker that was behind it goes, and on the red and yellow car, yeah, that was definitely spun around by the 117 Phantom Global Racing. Side by side action here. The number 9 is Lee Chow. Oh, that's a big off. That's a huge off for Lee Chow. And Hendrik Yaya. Sorry, the 9 was the one. Lee Chow's car, the one that hit the wall and bounced right out, the red and white car. The 88, I think, started that one. Oh, it was assisted for Dylan Pereira. The number 98.
Heavily waylaid by Ballast, and the man who won, but it's further back. Whoops, that's gone very badly wrong. That's a collision between the Ferrari and the number 50 Nissan.
ではなかったように見えました。さあトップ争い、接触なのか、クラッシュ。シンバラバランスを崩してガードレールにクラッシュ。僕だったかリプレイはポノスのマシンと
ちょっとわかんないですね。
どうなんだろう。絡んでいる。接触がある。90号車来て、ここは
スピンしたところにってところですね。
はい。スピンした車に当たってしまいました。できましたね。はい。ケン・アレックス、赤松とのバトルでの接触となってしまいました。ね、プレッシャーをかけています。さあそしてこの接触があった、インディペンデントクラストップ争いで接触。
First replay of the day here, so there we go, way hot turn 3, oh dear.
And they'll be having a look, and by the way, the clock has now been updated, so that number you saw at the start finish line was correct. Who's on the grass down the inside? It was always going to clean out multiple cars. Heavy contact and more contact in the exit as everyone tries to scramble and find a hole to get out of.
Around here, to make things work out for them. There's all three-way contact going to call happen as a result. 44 and 99.
Oh, there we go.
Oh, was it our Class C competitors? Oh!
He was getting blocked multiple times. Now have a look at
Four-way contact!
Four-way contact! That's going to take 3 cars out of the running. Huge amounts of contact, make it 4!
See the tire smoke up there on the outside? I think it was tire. I don't know. It's hard to tell.
Well,
you're looking in the background of a deal.
You definitely see the smoke.
Something, right?
Yeah, you definitely see the smoke up there, and I think Jimmy saw that smoke and
moves them all up the racetrack from an adjustment.
Oh, Logano comes up, Bell comes up, and the 11 gets into the 2.
Then when he spins back down the track, he clips Bubba in the right rear, turns him around. 3, 4 wide, doesn't work for long. A pinball, wasn't he?
Yeah, that could have very...
Corey Heim went through the grass, I think, to try to make some passes.
Oh, and that's Majeski.
That left front's flat.
Yeah, I think he had an issue.
The front tire changer, his name was Brandon Henry, and he was sent over into the infield care center, where he was been evaluated. He has been released, and he is now back on pit lane with the team.
Cam Waters in the 66 Racing Lane Riggs on the final lap.
Just got away from Cam down on the bottom, and he had to use up Lane Riggs to save his truck. Lane gets that spot. They're battling for 18th. You hate to go down like that for 18th, but
never came in for goggles the entire race. Paul Jonas, who was having a good ride until he fell from 4th place down to 8th. He'd eventually come back to 5th. Prado, one of the riders that took advantage of that. And then as Prado was sorting himself out, as Prado finished in 15th, Geiser headed into race 2 as the new championship leader, but he went down at turn 1, got clipped by Fevre on the way through, almost got nailed by Isaac Gifton as well, who got past Sasha Coonan, but he would collide at the top of the next hill with his teammate Liam Everts. The race leader then fell here on the upslope of the next jump, and his teammate Kai de Wolf, and championship leader, almost went out the front door. He ran off the side of the track, and as he re-emerged behind Everts, guess what? He connected with Thibaut Beneston. Those two went down and will have to come through the pack and chase down the race leader. Lucas Coonan fell again, lost a couple positions. Iago Martinez having a great ride, and as Kai de Wolf closed in on him, he was up into 9th place, 489 of Jens Wolford. Lucas Coonan then fell, trying to have a go at, and into the final lap, it was Beniston who went through, and then just to rub salt into the wounds, Adamo got tagged by a back marker. Coming out of the turn, inside line, he went down, immediately pointed to his collarbone. The German was out of the race, and for now, out of the points chase. Staying on two wheels somehow, he came through in 9th place. Everts on the final lap, though, he tipped over from the lead, was picking himself up at the back. A freak accident here for Mathis Balin, who fell from 3rd on the opening lap into 6th and then 7th, and he had some work to do, and as he got to that same corner a couple of laps later, his rear wheel hooked up with, presented by FMF Racing. There was carnage through the first turn as a couple of riders went down. The 29 on the KTM there, Dean Gregoire, but up front, the Spaniard took over 3rd until this happened, just cross-rutted, tipped over. He went down, 100 of Perez. From there we thought, you know what, he's going to absolutely demoralise the field. That was Cole McCulloch tipping out of 2nd place. Final lap, Kian Dunson leading the way, and then tipped over a handful of corners from the line. He picked himself up in panic mode, got the gas down.
Hunter Lawrence gets a blinding start, but Webb's on the inside. There's riders down on the inside, and down hard.
I think one of those guys was Dylan Ferrandis.
It is. Blasts out of the gates, he's got that inside line, tucks it in, and down goes Chase Sexton.
Yeah.
It's the Lawrence brothers, 1 and 2.
What happens? Yeah, he just lays it down. The front end starts to tuck, and it's really loose. That dirt right in there, it's really...
He starts getting pressure. If Tomac starts to bring he goes down.
Down goes Eli Tomac.
90-degree corner. Oh, yeah, as he starts to initiate the corner...
Remember, he's riding wounded, he's riding hurt. Oh, and down goes Sexton. Oh, and he gets run over by Cooper Webb.
Okay, 90-degree corner. Let's see if he tucks the front, and he does. What happens there in those 90-degree corners?
Really good start, Ryder Di Francisco. On the Troy Lee Design Red Bull Gas, we got 1, 2, 3 riders down.
Replay in the start, guys fading out. I mean,
for others, they'll get a second chance. Whoa, big crash, big fall, probably 10 riders down.
Top of your or bottom of your screen, he comes in, grabs a handful of front brake, and just tucks the front end. His handlebars just knife right to the left, and he lays it down.
Kitchen, Hampshire's been left behind. Shimoda on the inside. It's Joe Shimoda with the whole shot.